Well, the keys here is Hibbing's not going to let up. They're ahead by 4-2. They're not going to play defensive style. Bill Olson, head coach, Bill Teacher, they do a tremendous job. We know Bob Janander's a great coach, but Hibbing coaching staff, Olson and Teacher, are just, they've been around. They know the angles. These guys know what's going on. And they're not going to let up. They're just going to keep coming at them and forcing Greenway to make mistakes in their own zone. Hibbing has just got too much depth for Greenway. They got too much horses, and it's going to take a lot of circumstances for Greenway to get back in the game.
Terrell off the draw. Moving now, Johnson picks it up, centering pass. Oh, it goes right on through. Trombley can't get a stick on enough from left side, enough save. It's loose in front, and finally Zabotnik will pick it up for the Blue Jackets. Excellent opportunity right there for Greenway right away in this third period. Allen digs in, takes a check from Swartz. Moving in into the slot. Terrell moves, tries to get a shot off. Get it out to the left point. Huseman. He moves in with a wrist shot off traffic in front. Trombley tries getting to it. Now Trebojevic and Swartz dig for it. Into the left face-off circle. Terrell will move in, centering pass. Zabotnik shot and a save. Terrell will pick it up in that corner. Gets it back out toward the slot. Swartz can't get a stick on it. Finally, Allen will pick up and carry out. Roy almost held in by Steve Terrell. Finally, he backhands it in. It's off Trebojevic and will go down into the corner to the left of Stope. 14:09 remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing.
Well, I'll tell you, Stope made a great save on Zabotnik. Zabotnik had a good backhand shot just outside the left face-off circle, and Stope made a big save there.
Hibbing will make a change. Derek Vekic's line is out there for the Raiders. Oh, Trombley goes off here. Hibbing will be on the power play now. Trombley in the box. Face-off controlled by Greenway. They flip it on down. Cross-checking on Trombley. Pete Wohlers wheels in behind Monticelli, gives it off to Huseman. He thinks about it as Vekic was coming in from this right side. Huseman cross-iced up to Doug Terrell. Terrell into the left face-off circle, moves in over to Sullivan. Shot and a save by Stope. They call him the refrigerator, Frankie.
Well, the refrigerator almost made it 5-2, but a goal right here would really kill Greenway Coleraine. They're playing a spirited game, but Mike, I have to feel they let everything out the other night against Grand Rapids. It was an emotional rivalry between the two, and Greenway played their game that night.
Off the draw, the pass out toward Terrell comes on through to center ice. Jernander takes a check from big Steve Terrell. Girardi to Rue. Rue into the zone. Right face-off circle. Has trouble with Jernander. Girardi digs into the corner. Still stays with the puck. Miller gives him a check and will face it off to the left of Stope. 1:19 remaining in the Jacket power play. 13:27 remaining in this championship game. Hibbing and Greenway. It's Vekic out there, which set the Raiders. Vekic, Jernander, Rudnick, Miller. And the John Rue line is out there for the Hibbing Blue Jackets. Draw controlled by the Jacks. Gossett can't break in. The puck is cleared into center ice. Steve Terrell races over. Terrell carries into the Raiders zone. By splitting the defense, goes right on through. Stope has to steer it off. Flip it up and out of play. We'll do it again. 13:11 remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing. And we'll face it off to the right of sophomore goaltender Jeff Stope. 1:03 remaining in the Hibbing power play. Face off to the right is controlled by the Raiders. Trebojevic rings it around the boards. Gossett will hold it in on the far side. Moves into the right face-off circle area. Drops it underneath for Swartz. Swartz to Rue. Rue left face-off circle. Shot and a save by Stope. Shot by Girardi. Another save by Stope, and he covers up.
I'll tell you, Girardi almost had his fourth goal because, you know, Rue is real good on an angle shot from the right face-off circle. He scores a lot of goals on an off-angle shot into the left side, and Girardi was right there for the rebound.
Frank, Girardi just works hard for position. He gets in that slot, and they don't move him out.
Well, he's like Chucky Delich for the Golden Bears years ago. He's right there when the puck has to be put in the net.
Quick shot.
Yeah, he's got that quick shot.
Face-off controlled by the Blue Jackets. Girardi out to Gosted. Shot in a slot off of Rudnick's stick, and he steers it just wide. Girardi picks it up, centering pass to Zabotnik. Oh, Rue on from the left face-off circle. Went right on through to Rue on this near side. Now Schwartz moves into Rue. Rue tries moving and stubbing by. The puck is loose on the side. Staub moved over. Now centering pass, and the Jackets can't get it to go in. Trebojevic tries ringing it around the boards. 19 seconds remaining in the Hibbing power play. Girardi, right face-off circle. Wheels in. Pulls back out. Looks it over. Out to the right point. Gostage shot and a save by Staub. He'll glove it and hang on. 7 seconds remaining in the Hibbing power play.
Well, Hibbing had the right idea. They moved the puck around well. They were not able to probably get the shot they wanted in the slot, but they still did an effective job on the power play, and they're killing off some time on the clock. The Blue Jackets played three consistent periods of hockey, and that's very important, when you get into the state tournament.
Stavnes and Hardy at the point now, off the draw. Jernander clears it. It's right on goal, and Monticelli would drop it off for Hardy, and both teams are at full strength. Stavnes up to Gosted. Or Wohlers. Wohlers across ice to Sullivan. Sullivan can't catch up to it. He'll race back with Rousey. Chris Rousey. And Sullivan going to the boards on the far side. Vekic outlet pass to Jernander. Jernander against Hardy. Jernander stops. Wrist shot, and it's off of Hardy. Hardy does a good job, Frank. Vekic, left face-off circle. Gets it out to the left point. Allen, he'll let it go from there. Shot, and it's knocked down in front, and Hardy will pick up. Hardy to Sullivan. Sullivan to Wohlers. Pete takes a check into the boards by Allen. Hardy will dump it on into the Raider end. Here come the Raiders. Steve Terrell will send it into the end boards. Allen drops back for Greenway. 11:23 remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing. Rousey does clear the zone. Cal Huseman will drop back. Doesn't get much on the pass. Rousey's there to give him trouble. A puck in between the blue lines right now. Tom Pascuzzi will send it on down. Stopp will drop it off there toward Dean Trebojevic. Zabotnik races with him into the corner. Huseman looks to hold it in. Now they're into the left face-off circle. Back out to the point now. Huseman wants it with a shot, and it's off of Schwartz, I think, in front of the net. Jernander wheels back. Right now you'd think Hibbing was on the power play, Frank. Left face-off circle. Shot is wide. Schwartz can't tip it in. He'll dig in behind Stopp again. Centering pass. Terrell can't get a stick on it. And finally, Allen will clear the zone. Frank, you'd have thought Hibbing had the man advantage here.
Yes, they did. And I'm surprised. I'm really impressed with Hibbing's offense. They have not let Greenway get anything set up. They're not giving them no openings in the slot. Hibbing's defense, which supposedly was a weak point, are really playing a whale of a game tonight.
Jernander tried to break in and will face it off to the right of Monticelli. Hibbing's strength is even surprising you tonight, huh, Frank?
Yes, I am, because I thought probably Greenway would have better scoring opportunities. They haven't. Hibbing's defense has tightened up. They back-checked. The wings have helped up the defense. They've back-checked, and the defense is not giving Greenway any leadway at all.
Miller's shot is wide. Miskovich couldn't get a stick on it, but he'll pick it up at the right side. Centering pass picked off by Rue. Back to center ice. Gustafson's back in the game, Frank. Gary Gustafson, unless they put a new uniform out there. We were told he wouldn't be back, but he's out there taking a shift. The sophomore defenseman that got hurt early in the game. Pass toward Rissy is held in by Rue. He'll hammer it off the boards, and Miller will drop back. Outlet pass now. Here comes Rissy. Joe Rissy wheels into the Blue Jacket zone. Tries to wing around Gosted. Has trouble with Joe, and John Rue will drop back. Rue looks to break out with it. Sends it around the boys' right side. Miller will hold it in as he takes a check from Randy O'Brien. Steve Stavnes sends it over toward Joe Gosted to Paul Girardi. They call him the Beaver in Hibbing toward Gosted. Now Stavnes brings it around the boards toward the right side. Rissy checks O'Brien into the boards. Hibbing right now just seeming to take their time looking for the opportunity to clear it out. They'll clear it down, and we'll have icing here with 9:24 remaining in the game. 4-2 Blue Jackets.
Very few icing pen calls in the game. Mike, one of the very, very few, and that's indicative of the true ability of both clubs. You got to give their hats off. Both teams playing very, very hard, and when you have very few icing plays like that, that shows both teams are playing the hockey they should be playing.
Face off to left of Monticelli, controlled by the Raiders. Rudnick drops it back to Trebojevic into the slot. It goes just wide. Johnson can't get a stick on it. He and Hardy dig into the corner. Trombley races over, but Doug Terrell will come up with it for the Blue Jackets. Doug Terrell to Pete Wohlers. Wohlers over Tom Sullivan. Wrist shot. Oh, and it goes off of Stopes' glove into the corner to his left. John Allen goes over there, sends it around toward the point. Huseman will hold it in, bangs it a little deeper into the zone. Allen checks it out, sends it toward Jeff Johnson. Johnson left side for Trombley. takes a check, and Huseman will come back. Now it's poke-checked away. Here come the Raiders. Jeff Johnson will race with Mike Hardy. Takes him into the boards. Huseman takes a check from Rudnick, and Tom Sullivan comes out. Outlet pass for Pete Wohlers. Wohlers into the zone. Every time he touches the puck, the fans holler here. Wohlers in deep. Centering pass, nobody home. Trebojevic over to Trombley. Trombley with trouble from Steve Terrell. The puck comes into center ice. Rudnick will pick it up and carry. Rudnick dumps it into the corner, and the Raiders look for a change. Pat Zabotnik comes out for Hibbing. Zabotnik has trouble with Vekic, and he'll dump it on down. Zabotnik races with Rousey. Rousey off the boards to the left side. Jernander will pick it up. Has trouble with Schwartz in that corner. 8:11 remaining in the game. 4-2 Blue Jackets. Steve Terrell can't clear Vekic. Can't clear the zone either. Hibbing doing a good job of holding it. Now it comes into center ice. Vekic tries to pick it up. Finally, Miller will come into the zone. Chris Miller, Hibbing, everybody back for Hibbing on defense. Centering pass by Miller is off a skate. Vekic will bang it toward the zone, or toward the slot. It's off of Miller's stick. Gustafson can't hold it at the right point. Gary Gustafson will drop back. Flips it on down. Gosted will get back there first for the Blue Jackets. 7:39 remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing. The winner here advanced to the state tournament. Now, Allen shot on a save by Monticelli. He sent a real knuckleball toward the net. Now centering pass. Moving in. Shot by Vekic and a save by Monticelli. And they'll cover it there. And I think the Greenway fans felt the whistle was a little quick, Frank. And that was on the far side. We can't quite see it, but maybe they felt it was still loose over there.
Well, you know, if the referee lose sight of the puck, you know that, Mike, they're going to blow the whistle. But Greenway had a little flurry there. They have to score a goal. They have to have something happen right now. Something to get 7:25 halfway through the third period. Anything can happen yet. A quick Greenway goal. We still could have a Donnybrook.
Face off to the right. It'll be Ehalt against John Rue. Ehalt centers Dave Olson and Brad Gardner. Rue, of course, centering Girardi and Schwartz, flipping it in, and Monticelli will have to grab it. It was Trebojevic. And we'll face it off to the left of senior goaltender Dean Trebojevic. John Rue centers Paul Girardi. Huseman's out there with Hardy on the point. Face-off controlled by the Jackets. Girardi comes out to Rue, back to Girardi. Centering pass, Rue moves in, has trouble with Allen. Girardi will race in. Rue digs in there, and boy, Girardi's all tied up with Allen and deep in on the end boards. Huseman holds it in on the far side, dumps it back in deeper. Girardi working yet. You know, this Hibbing team is very unselfish too, Frank. They give and go. Olsen to Ehalt. Ehalt's wrist shot is off of Hardy. It goes into the corner to the right of Monticelli. Andy O'Brien digs over there. Now a pass into the slot, picked up by Mike Hardy. Hardy up to Paul Girardi. 3 goals tonight. Checked by Allen. Olsen up, put clean. Here comes Terrell's shot. Oh, and he scores! Doug Terrell walked in. I never saw the light come on, Frank. I didn't see the puck. It got stuck up in the corner of the net. Doug Terrell gets a goal.
No goal.
No good. Okay, I didn't see a light. That's why I'm wondering.
It was offside on the play.
Okay. I was wondering.
It was offside.
On that far side. I didn't see a light. And that quiets the crowd. Frank, we get caught up here. Neither one of us really wearing any headsets tonight, so all we hear is noise here. Hibbing crowd let out a holler like they had popped one in. It was in, but the wing on that right side was offside. So it's a 4-2 game, 6:27 remaining in this hockey game. Doug Terrell with Sullivan and Wohlers going against that Vekic, or Rudnick, Jeff Johnson line with Rudnick and Trombley. Here come the Blue Jackets. Doug Terrell has trouble with Rudnick as they hit the Raider blue line. Sullivan will pick up and carry. Sullivan puts it toward the shot. Saved by Stobe. Wohlers digs in. Trombley takes a check from Sullivan. They're really banging on those end boards. Now official quick to get over there and break that one up. 6:01 remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing.
Well, you know what I like about this Hibbing team here in the third period? They're leading 4-2, Mike, but they're not letting up. They're going after them. And that's the way you have to play it. You're leading by 2 goals. You don't play defensive hockey because things can happen to you. And I got to credit Bill Olsen and his, they're doing the right thing, and the Blue Jackets have the guys that can really come after.
They're picking up some debris from the ice. No, it was somebody's stick down there. Earlier we had some people throwing some things, but that was a stick, so that one was legitimate. You hate 3 people throwing stuff onto the ice. This is good. A good Hibbing crowd over here. Hardy from the left point sends it in wide. It's off the end board. And we'll face it off. No, we got... Oh, kiddo.
A double minor penalty, both on Hibbing and Coleraine. Number 3 from Hibbing, Nyberg's going out. This is going to be a double minor for high sticking for both of them.
Schwartz from Hibbing and Allen from Greenway.
Allen from Greenway. But you know, even though Hibbing's forwards can buzz like they do, Mike, you got to credit the defense. The defense has really tightened up. They haven't let Coleraine do anything inside their blue line. And this is, I think Coach Bill Olsen has to be really impressed with this.
So each team will be skating a player as short. It'll be Schwartz and Trombley. Actually, we saw Allen go. No, shot by Wohlers off the draw was just wide. We saw Allen going first, but it's Trombley and Schwartz. Vekic carries out. He's taken down. We're going to have a penalty here.
Bad call there because third period, you kind of let things like that go. That was a bad call. The first bad call the officials made. They're going to call a tripping penalty, but really that shouldn't have been called.
So Steve Terrell will go off. Hey, excellent opportunity for Greenway now.
4 on
so it was Allen that's out instead of Trombley. Yeah. Public address announcer correcting him. So now Greenway is going to have a 1-man advantage here.
4 on 3 gives a lot of ice room on it.
And with Miller out there, Janander and Vekic, they got the skaters to do it. Miller tries breaking in, but the Jackets clear the zone.
Well, Greenway has to get a goal right here. They don't get a goal right here, that's just about it.
Gustafson moves out. Gary Gustafson takes a check at the blue line, and Gosted will send it down again, much to the approval of this Hibbing Blue Jacket crowd. Greenway will have a man advantage here for a little over a minute, and then there'll be each of the players short. Vekic moves in around Gosted. Gosted does a good job. Forces him deeper into the corner. Wheels in behind. Centering pass out. Jernander, right face-off circle across to Miller. Back to Jernander. Back to Miller. Left face-off circle. Shot. Oh, it's loose in front. Oh, I don't know. Whoa.
Should have been a goal.
Good patience by Greenway to work it around, Frank. Boy, the crowd roaring with every move now. Here comes Jernander. He did everything right, Frank, but it just didn't go between the pipes. Jernander centering pass. Gustafson off a stick. Oh, and Monticelli has to kick it out. And Hibbing clears it off the boards, and Stope will drop it off for Miller.
You have to take their time.
Here comes Jernander. Over to Miller. Cross now Gustafson. He'll let it go. Good play by Hardy. And the Raiders can't hold it in. Rue gets it to center ice. Jernander will drop back. Jernander over to Gustafson at the blue line. Can't quite get to it, and Hardy will send it back the other way. Greenway will have a 1-man advantage here. Here comes Rudnick. Rudnick into the zone. Rudnick in the slot. Left point. Thinks about a wrist shot toward the slot. Hardy knocks it down. Both teams at full strength. And we got an offside. 3:37 remaining in the game. 4-2, the Hibbing Blue Jackets. 2-goal lead over Greenway with 3:37 remaining in this championship game.
Well, I think, Mike, that was Greenway's last hurrah. They had a golden opportunity there. If they could have made it 4-3. But right now, Hibbing killed that penalty, and it should be easy sailing right now.
Rudnick takes a check at the blue line, and we had an offside. You mentioned more than once, Frank, Hibbing is standing them up at the blue line when the Raiders come in, not letting Greenway get into that game that they can. You let them get into a freewheeling game, and not many better than Greenway at it, but the defense of Hibbing doing a good job.
They our game the other night pretty well, Mike.
Hibbing doing their job, doing their homework. 3:27 remaining in the game. It's the Doug Terrell line out there against the Jeff Johnson line. Johnson centers Trombley and Rudnick. Terrell centering Zabotnik and Schwartz. Off the draw, Huseman will drop back. In behind Monticelli. Huseman has trouble with Rudnick. Time getting all important now, Frank. Centering pass. Royalist moves in, trying to save. The puck is in the air, and it comes right down to Sullivan, and he clears it to center ice. The puck is bouncing right for Hibbing, too, Frank. That one came right back down to Sullivan. Trebojevic clears it into the zone. Doug Terrell will send it back, and Allen picks it off and knocked right back. Here comes a breakaway. Wohlers in on Stope. Wohlers, nice play by Stope. He comes out, pokes it away from him. Right point now, Stavnes. Wrist shot toward the slot, saves, and Stope's on the puck. It's still loose, and they'll whistle it and face it off to his left. Pressure by Hibbing, Frankie.
Greenway had their chance there, too, Mike. Like you said, the puck bounced Hibbing's way there down here in this Hibbing defensive zone. You know, one goal, it could make it 4-3, but things are meant to happen this way tonight for Hibbing.
Face off to the left. It'll be Steve Terrell against Derek Vekic. The Raiders control the draw. Chris Miller will ring it around the boards right side for Ken Jernander. Centers it out to Vekic. Vekic will carry into the zone. Picking up and carrying in will be Jernander. Jernander avoids Zabotnik, but Stavnes will come in and pick it up. Stavnes drops it back for Gosted. Gosted, outlet pass, pick up. Jernander's shot goes high. Picked off that outlet pass and put a shot high over the net. Miller holds it in at the left side. Moves around Terrell. Nice play by Miller. Into the corner, wheels in left faceoff circle. Finally ridden off the puck, and Schwartz will pick up for the Blue Jackets. 2 minutes remaining in the game. 4-2 Hibbing. Gustafson will drop back with Terrell. Picked up by Zabotnik. Left faceoff circle. Shot saved by Stope, and will face it off. 1:56 remaining in this hockey game. 4-2 Hibbing.
Well, of course, Bob Janander is going to pull Jeff Stope pretty soon. When he gets a good opportunity to face off down in the Hibbing zone. They have nothing to lose right now, but Greenway has nothing to be ashamed of regardless of the outcome of this game. They played a very tough hockey game, but the Blue Jackets just have too many weapons. They just kept coming and coming, and they didn't let Greenway really get set up.
Face off to the right of Stope is controlled by the Raiders. Allen checks it out. 1:48 remaining in the game. Gets head to Trombley. Off his stick. Girardi picks it up. Paul Girardi has his pass picked off by Trebojevic. He'll dump it on down. It rings around the boards in behind Monticelli. Hardy checks Jeff Johnson into the boards in that corner. Hardy will pick it up. Moves in behind Monticelli. Minute and a half remaining in the game. O'Brien avoids a check. Good job to avoid the check, and finally looks to break out. Does clear it to center ice. Trombley was avoided a check by Hardy, but O'Brien moves in, and Rule is offside on the far side. 1:19 remaining in the game. 4-2 Jackets.
Well, both teams going to change lines now, Mike, but I'm looking for Coach Bob Janander now. He's back on the far. He likes to stay in the background, and, you know, what can you do now with a minute 19 left? You just got to hope for a lucky break, make it 4-3, and then hope you can pull your goalie and get something going.
Off the draw, Stope will drop it off for Trebojevic. Trebojevic off the boards, end boards to Miller, to Ken Jernander, to Johnson, to Jernander. And now they were offside on his near side. 1:05. You know, at this point, there's certain times here Frank Hibbing or Greenway expects to be hit at the blue line. There's been a couple times that they've been hit there so much tonight. It seems like instead of carrying it right on in, they've been expecting it to get to the blue line. They're looking to get rid of it and haven't really had any good clear rushes into the Hibbing zone.
Exactly right. Mike Hibbing has just played a total game, both ends of the ice.
1 minute remaining in the game. Gosted up towards Sullivan. Stope is out of the net. And will face it off back here. So Greenway will have their open goal. The goalie's been pulled. 52 seconds remaining in the game. We remind you this broadcast is being brought to you by HCCV Cable 2 in Hibbing. I'm Mike Arrow along with Frank Sherman. Excellent game tonight. Frank will have a good representative in Section 7. They'll take on the winner of Bemidji and Moorhead. I know you like Bemidji over there. off the draw. Comes back to center ice. Rudnick will send it over. Look to send it, but now they'll send it left wing toward Johnson off of Jeff's stick. But the Raiders do hold it in. Stavnes sends it up off in the air. Trebojevic can't get control of it. And will face it off with 36 seconds remaining. They're counting it down. There'll be an awards ceremony after the game here. We'll be with you through the awards ceremony. They're going to crown the Section 7 champ. And it looks like it'll be Hibbing once again. Unless Greenway can bang 2 in here in 36 seconds. And we've played almost 45 minutes, Frank, and they've gotten 2. Young Greenway team.
They will be reckoned with next year, I guarantee you that.
To center ice, Johnson flips it up and out of play. 30 seconds remaining.
But you know, the unsung hero, Bill Olson, Bill Teacher. You hear so much about Bob Janander, Jim Nelson from Grand Rapids. Both excellent, excellent hockey coaches, but Bill Olson, year in and year out, keeps a steady ship, good hockey playing, good coaching, and the Blue Jackets, for the 7th time in the last 8 years, will represent our region in the state tournament.
And Frank, working with the media or with these coaches, they're more than cooperative with us whenever we have, always willing to take a minute with us. Open net, 18 seconds remaining. Vekic sends left side. And drop pass there for Trebojevic. He winds up with a shot, and it's wide. Jernander can't put the rebound in. Backhand toward the slot. It's loose in front. Hardy will clear it. It's off the boards. In the snow, held in at the point. This game is over, folks. The Hibbing Blue Jackets have won Section 7 hockey. They repeat again. Bill Olson, Bill Teacher, and that whole Hibbing hockey program will once again reap the rewards of good hard work. The Blue Jackets celebrating here at the Miners Memorial Building in Hibbing. Well, return shortly. Once again, the score has been 4-2, and we'll return with our wrap-up and awards presentation shortly here on HCCV Cable 2 in Hibbing. Frank, Greenway took the lead early in this game. 1-0 on the power play, but from then on it was all Hibbing.
Yes, it was. Derek Beckett scoring on a power play goal, assisted by Rudnick and Ella, gave him a 1-0 lead, characteristic of Greenway. But then Paul Girardi, of his first of 3 goals, tied it up at 9:25 left, and it ended up assisted by John Rule, 1-1. It was all Hibbing. Let's get the official saves.
15 for Stope in the last. 7 for Monticelli in that last period. 21.
Okay, so Stope ended up with 37 saves to 21 for Monticelli, indicative of the hockey game. Girardi put Hibbing ahead 2-1 on assist by John Rule, and then also Joe Gossett was in on that assist to give Hibbing a 2-1 lead. Hibbing never looked back. In the second period, after Hibbing was leading 2-1, Paul Girardi scored his 3rd goal, a pure hat trick, assisted by John Schwartz and Steve Terrell to make it 3-1. Doug Terrell made it 4-1 on an unassisted goal, and then Janander made it 4-2 on a power play goal. That was all the scoring, 4-2 after 2 periods. There was no scoring in the 3rd period, and our hats off to a mighty effort by the Hibbing Blue Jackets.
Frank, we're going to go out to the ice now, and the public address announcer and the presentation of the award.
Mr. Don Faulkner, President of the Minnesota State High School League, and Julian Bertoliat, Chairman of the Section 7 Committee, will present the awards at this time. Will the captains of the runner-up team, Greenway, come forward to receive their runner-up trophy. Julia. Coach William Olson. Coach William Teacher. And now will all the members of the championship team Hibbing come forward to receive your championship trophy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Hibbing. This concludes our program.
So, the Hibbing Blue Jackets advance to the opening round of the state tournament. Frank, been fun working with you here. We'll see you along the way next year. Once again, the final score from the Hibbing Memorial Arena. The Hibbing Blue Jackets win Section 7 hockey 4-2 over the Greenway.
We'll now meet the winner of Section 8. That'll either be Bemidji or Moorhead. They're playing tonight in Moorhead. And Duluth Denfeld is just one game away from a trip to state.